We begin with a plan to cut property taxes, and as always, the devil is in the detail. Miami-Dade's mayor put that tax cut in her proposed $10 billion budget she unveiled this week.
Her proposed property tax cut is small, just 1%. But it is the first time that the millage rate will have come down in Miami-Dade in a decade. The mayor also is talking about expanding financial aid for people who rent and money for homeowners who struggle to make their mortgage payments. Mayor Daniella Levine Cava joins us now from her home in Pinecrest. Madam Mayor, great to see you.
Good morning.
Palmetto Bay, Michael, Palmetto Bay, close by.
Good. Mayor Levine Cava, here you rolled out on Friday this enormous record-setting $10 billion budget, and tucked in there was this somewhat surprising and welcome property tax cut of 1%. Doesn't really amount to just a few bucks, but it's meaningful. Why did you do this? Relief for people who are struggling with inflation and high food and gas prices and everything else?
Absolutely, Michael. We're facing an unprecedented cost of living increase. People all over our county are suffering, and we need to show them that we're listening, we care, we want to put some money back in their pocketbooks, and we also want to invest in the future. So I think it is very important that for the first time in 10 years, we're offering a tax cut.
So, Madam Mayor, that is such a great headline. And as always, if you dig beneath the headlines, the meanings might change a little bit. And I'm just going to go on record as saying I will never criticize any $1 back in anybody's pocket. However, for the average homesteader, the average homeowner in Miami-Dade, your plan amounts to what is in the records that you sent to the commission, $14 savings a year. $14 a year right now isn't even a third of a tank of gas for a whole year. So I guess my question would be, in the collective, if everybody pitched back in that $14 a year in the collective, couldn't that pay for so much more in the county?
Yeah. So thanks, Glenna. It's an overall $25 million tax break to the residents. And so it is meaningful collectively and for each individual. We hope it'll help a little. And we're also investing in things that are going to really change the quality of life for so many. We have hundreds of thousands that are struggling with the high cost of rent or their mortgages. They can't afford it. And we're making a $500 million investment in this budget in helping people with their housing costs. So that is meaningful and will be felt by so many.
Yeah, we will get into those proposed, the help for people who are really struggling to pay their rent, to make their home mortgages. But first, let me kind of follow up on a point that Glenna made, which is that 1% in the view of at least 3 or 4 county commissioners and the county tax appraiser just isn't enough. Something meaningful would be more like 3 or 4%, which would mean that the average homeowner would pay roughly what they paid this year. So why don't you go up to 3 or 4%?
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, homeowners with homestead, they're capped at 3% no matter what. So while they're struggling, we want to provide them relief, those who can't afford to pay their mortgage. At the end of the day, the biggest beneficiaries of a bigger tax cut are investors, people who are buying up properties, turning it around for commercial purposes. That is a very big part of it, as well as some of our new homeowners that are coming to town for their relocation to our paradise, and we welcome that. But we just know that for the typical homeowner, this will be more meaningful, what we're doing, for sure. Also, want to be clear that any bigger tax cuts will mean cuts in service. People need to understand this is our police department, our parks, our roadways, our transit, all of these things that depend upon these dollars. And this is not the time to be cutting on those basic services either. Just when we're getting a handle on crime, just when we're really moving forward on transit plans. So this is a budget that is a smart budget. It's one that gives tax relief, that recognizes how people are suffering, and also invests in things that will really matter to them and help them in the long term.
So I want to your point, I want to go back to how the budget is sort of pieced out. And do we have the graphic of the percentages of the county budget? I'm not sure we have that graphic And we do. Our producers are so on top of things. All right, so Mayor, I stole this right out of your budget plan. And it's a great little visual graphic, because we are all about the visuals, about how much of a dollar goes to the different pots in the county. And with this tax cut, I want to direct your attention to, well, not yours, but our viewers, recreation and culture, 7 cents of the dollar. Most of the dollar goes to public safety, police, fire, et cetera. That's sort of common. But recreation and culture and neighborhoods and infrastructure, sort of the ground, the quality of life pots, amounts to collectively just under a third. So with a savings in property tax, do you think that homeowners and property owners would want to maybe kick back that small savings into those pots for enhancements there?
Look, the commissioners are going to debate what are the current needs and so on, but I do think it is meaningful to recognize for our struggling homeowners that we want to put something back in their pocketbooks too. We do have new revenues, not as many as it might appear on the surface, because a lot of that is federal dollars that are not sustainable. Those are American Rescue Plan dollars that we can't depend on for the long term. So that definitely pumps up our budget, and we're using those dollars for infrastructure. Look, we've invested in our parks, we've invested in our roads and in our transit. Parks have become a top priority for people since the pandemic. People recognize the value of open spaces. We're maintaining the parks, programming in the parks. These are all critical things that our community has told us through our Thrive 305 survey and other means, our budget workshops. These are things that are important to them, along with public safety.
Yeah. You have just said, Madam Mayor, today, and then you said at your news conference on Friday, that you do not want to reward, as it were, the real estate speculators who come in, pay full price, even bid up the value of some or the price of some homes, or hedge funds or investors who come in and snap up property, again, maybe at above market prices. You don't want to give them the break with this tax cut, but how do you at the same time help the average homeowner, you know, who is seeing the value of his or her home just go up on the average of 12% in the last year? So how do you balance those?
So again, homestead laws protect homeowners from those drastic increases. It's capped at 3%, and seniors and others have even steeper protections. And we know that landlords may not be big landlords. They may be small landlords. That may be their primary source of revenue. And we know that their costs are going up. And that's why we have programs we're proposing that will help the landlords as well as the renters and the mortgage holders. So it's a comprehensive strategy. We can't just do one thing. We have to do all of it, because truly we are living in the most expensive place relative to our incomes in the country right now.
The great balancing act. Mayor, we need to take a quick break, if you would. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more with Mayor Daniella Levine Cava.
Welcome back. We are in the midst of a good conversation with Miami-Dade Mayor Daniella Levine Cava. Madam Mayor, you have said a couple of times in the last few weeks, and the HUD director, Marcia Fudge, said it as well, that Miami-Dade, for many people, is almost unlivable because they can't afford the rent, they can't afford a mortgage. You said we are the epicenter of the national housing crisis. Well, your new budget has $40 million for new housing. Is that federal money? Where did you get it, and how are you going to spend it?
Yeah, Michael, thank you. We are making an unprecedented investment in the housing needs of our community, because we know that is our number one driver of the high cost of living here. And it's in total $500 million, $500 million. Of that, we've got $40 million that is coming from new property tax revenue, and that is local money. So it doesn't come with any of the federal restrictions. And we also, it's 43 million, excuse me. And we also have 40 million from federal sources that we're budgeting for new housing. And overall, we will have either in process or completed by 2023, 32,000 new units of affordable housing.
Wow.
Towards our estimated 100,000 need
And
by.
when will they come online? When will people be able to say, gee, here is a affordable housing unit and I want to move into it?
Right. So 14,000 of them are due to be done by the end of 2023. And honestly, I'm attending ribbon cuttings almost every week. So these units are going up. They are beautiful, definitely desirable. Some of them are mixed income. They are available on the market today. And I've had the great pleasure to speak to people who are so excited to be moving into these great units. The remainder will get started. And again, all in process, another 18,000 in process to be started within the next year and a half or so. So we are making great headway. In addition to that, we've got a 75 million fund that includes private funds committed to building more units here in Miami-Dade County. And we're converting our public housing facilities into really beautiful campuses with multiplier effect, mixed income, market rate, with workforce. It's really a revolution in how we're addressing housing. So we're working hard on both increasing the supply and protecting our current renters through the first Tenants Bill of Rights, the first Office of Housing Advocacy, and we've been helping hundreds of people through our emergency rental assistance program to pay landlords what they are owed, to pay their costs, and then keep people from being evicted. So it's a three-prong approach: more rental assistance using local funds, more homeowner assistance for mortgages that are and utility costs that are hard to pay, and third, a new program to subsidize landlords who have market rate to bring those units to workforce or affordable, that we're completing a design of the program, how it will be implemented.
You know, Mayor, at that same event with the HUD secretary, you said something that I found so fascinating, and it may have something to do with all that you just spoke about. You used the word densification, which kind of made me laugh at first. But dense is not always a flattering thing to use for a neighborhood, but densification sounds like the way of the future. What, on the ground level, what does that mean to a homeowner?
Yeah, thank you. So we know the demand for single family homes is huge, and we have identified up to over 100,000 lots that can be used to build housing inside the urban development line. And this proposal, again, is really state of the art, groundbreaking all across the country. They're looking at it. And it's not all high rises. It could be duplexes or townhomes. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens when people are turning over the lots. They could do lot splitting. So it increases the zoning capacity in certain lots that are really underutilized. We have significant underutilized land. And with this, we can provide for future housing needs for many years to come.
Yeah, Mayor Levine, Cava, let me move to another area briefly, and that is law enforcement and the Miami-Dade County Jail system. You have just in the last few days, once again, shaken up your staff. You didn't fire anybody, but you moved people around, and now Freddie Ramirez, a really outstanding guy, a great cop, a good administrator, is back running the Miami-Dade Police Department. What's up with this? Why these personnel shifts?
So everyone is looking for stability and security. We made those interim appointments while we were working on issues in the jail. Things are settling in the jail, and that is a good thing. So therefore, it was time to make some more permanent decisions. So J.D. Patterson is our chief of corrections and forensics with the jails and the medical examiner's office, and Freddie Ramirez, who was still overseeing the police department. So while he wasn't directing it day to day, he was overseeing it as chief of public safety. So now he's chief for public safety and fire. And we're proposing a new office of emergency management that would report to him as well. So that is a significant change because, you know, we have a lot of emergencies around here. So it's important that we stabilize the structure And Freddie has been doing a great job overseeing those functions, as has Chief Patterson.
Mayor, in the short time we have left, a quick question about something that's coming down the pike. Last month, there was, for the second time, it seemed the fix was in to defer the question of whether to move the urban development boundary on protected lands for what is to be a South Dade warehouse logistics industrial project.
Right.
Pretty contentious because of that line move, and you've been very strong about environmental issues, and you had forecast a veto if the commission did vote for that. They didn't get to because the developers team got them a deferral.
Right.
Is there anything that that team can come back with, any changes that would make you change your mind on a veto?
So it's coming back in September. That's the scheduled plan. My planners are telling me that they don't see a need for this. It's all about need, and that's why we have a community development master plan. We have ample space for warehouses outside of this area, which is outside the urban development boundary. It puts our watershed at risk, our bay at risk. It's potentially an area that we're going to need for Everglades restoration. It compromises our infrastructure. We're building good transit to get people to jobs. So overall, there is no demonstrated need. I'm really not sure what could be done to override that at this time.
Okay, Madam Mayor, great to speak with you as always. We will follow the budget process. It's going to go on through public hearings in August and then before the commission in September, and we'll see how far your proposal goes.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank
Thanks
you
very
so
much.